Hello, good morning. Yeah. Hey Stacking. Hey Scott. How are you doing? I just realized that I kind of copy and pasted. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot to change the. I looked at the thing and I was like, oh, should I change it? I looked at the title. I'm like, no, that's about right, right? I forgot the go live notification, which was, of course, morning. But now, if I change it now to morning, I might forget it this afternoon, which is funny. So I'm changing it anyways. That way, if you see it this morning, this afternoon, you know that I failed to look at that again. So hello Stacking, how are you doing today? Hello Scott, how are you doing? And hello Asitsu, how are you today? All right, volumes are looking good, everything's looking good. We have a Zilby today, but I need to move my camera back. Hi, do you want to look at this? Or rather, do you want to be looked at by this? All right, let's see if that looks good. He looks cold. I'm gonna turn on the heater. So yesterday I went out to a cat store, a pet store, and picked up some a couple toys for him. So I actually have a wand in the package. It's in a closet behind me. I don't want to pick it out until like maybe he's like more in a mood for play. But we can actually like do a little bit of play, and I can get the camera out, point it down there. We can maybe see if we can get him to jump. I got him jumping last night, which is always fun to see him sort of like leap for toys. Uh, let's see, but that's we'll see what happens. He's in his tired state right now. Okay, so yesterday we did some work on the course. We did some work on the whatever it's called, the LMS itself. Continuing to look at the feedback. Let's see, there's some more. Not sure if you wanted to, but you could add an extra to the connection lesson. Not necessarily required, but I find it easier to maintain individual parts in the .env. Oh yeah, so like there's we wanted to look to see if we could integrate the .env lesson and the and like maybe a more config type lesson. I think the .env might be good. Let's see. So I want to find something about environment. Oh, I was really hoping that like .env. Can do find env? What did I do with find? Did I change find? Or did I put it back? Nope, it's erd. A value is required for pattern, but none was supplied. I wanted to do something like find. Oh. Yeah, so if I look for that, there is no something with env. Probably because I don't think I have one in there. Okay. Albert Larson, hello. Art Winnin, hello. And Xanax, hello. How are you all doing today? The VS Code one, I believe we can add in. Where did I put that? Did I not write a lesson for VS Code? I thought I did. Did I like delete it? That'd be unfortunate if I did that. So let's see if let's go to the real one. I want the ability to list all the articles. So, let's just say a thing to like CRUD, like a view list of all articles. It's in your beta Axiom 16. Yeah, I thought I created it, but I guess like what I'm surprised about is like, what did I name it? Yeah, in here. Like, did I delete it? I'm concerned I deleted I deleted it, or it's like in a different branch or something. That's weird. But okay, so if I go to courses and I go to SQL X Rust, we go to course articles. So it should be over here on the right. Set up VS Code for Rust development. I should be able to delete them here too. So delete article. Thank you, Unreal, for that. Arwin, and you're doing good, but side gig development today. Also found a seemingly great TUI Rust library, Ratatouille. Oh, that's interesting. That's a fun name too. Let us know how good it is. The course is coming along pretty good. We got some alpha testers in there right now. Getting some feedback, which is really good. And I think we're gonna. Do you feel like volume is fine, but the gain is still cranked to like 1,000? It's I'm in yellow on the mic. Maybe that's it. Maybe my voice is a little bit weird today because it's morning. I'm gonna pick up the mic. Hold on. The gain and the pattern is perfectly fine. Did I like accidentally filter? Output gain is a little bit high on the compressor. Let me see if I turn that down. Okay, I've got that at 0 now. How does that sound? It should be around the same volume, maybe slightly lower. I do have an item to like reorganize these because I don't have right now. I unfortunately have set it up where it just adds to the end. It just depends. So I really want the ability to like order and like drag these back and forth, which I have not implemented yet, which is unfortunate. Anathema 2.0 should be coming soon. Well, Taco Bit is not streaming. He said it is making a lot of progress on it. From what I understand, like Anathema is pretty much done. There's just like tiny little things that are really boring to look at. But yeah, I'm really excited to see that because it should be a really good entry into the TUI world. Sounds better. I had to turn it down yesterday because it hurt my ears. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, if there's, I can look to see if do I have any other hidden gains? Not there, not there. I don't think so. I think yeah, no more gains set up on the mic. When can I join the alpha tester brigade? So the next plan, so the next opening is sometime this week. I'm going to open it up for basically limited sale. So we're gonna put this course out there for $5, and we're gonna say like, okay, is this, you know, I believe it's worth the $5 value, and then also as part of that, I'm gonna have we're gonna do a minimum 1 day a week of just office hours type things, where it's like, just hey, on stream, any problems, any questions you have, we'll just go over that. And then if I see anybody like running into trouble with it, I can do like a quick lesson and like add it to the course if I need to. I'm going to first announce, like, for those like sort of early sales, we're gonna do a small release on that in Discord first. You're gonna make again my own project, which is your fitness forum. You have struggling with that database to use. The most common identity manager with Firebase. Do you think you could do so? Of course, yeah. Firebase, like, a forum is one of the classic sort of like CRUD style apps that just has like good relations with it. Like any of the databases can work with it, and Firebase absolutely can work with that, definitely. The only reason that I hesitate to recommend Firebase to a lot of people is because it's easy to get trapped on it in the case that the app takes off. So it's hard for me to recommend it to like serious businesses because the payment gets like ramps up really high really fast. But if it's for like a personal project or like doing something where you don't expect it to get like, you know, to have to scale, then it's more than adequate. Uh, DLE Code, hello, good morning. How are you doing today? All right. Well, I was hoping. Okay, well, if I want to add in now, I guess like another question is, do I want to instead add in the feature to reorder these? Maybe I do. You know, here's one thing I wanna check out. How much work would it be for me to implement drag and drop for this? I haven't actually ever done that feature on my own. I've always used libraries for it, but I've always wanted to see how difficult that would be for me to just implement it on my own, because I know that HTML5, because I haven't done it since HTML5 came out and like added the feature in for drag and drop. So I believe that I can do just something in a console even, where if I just grab, let's say one of these, so all the, do I do it on like the div? And is that the div now? I think I do the div dot, like there's something where I can set draggable, right? Let's actually go find out. Okay, so we can set, yeah, there's a drag and drop API in the HTML. So I figured there was. So basically this should be fairly simple if I understand it. Making an element draggable requires adding the draggable attribute and the drag start event handler as shown in the following code sample. Hello, Balder Van Mutten. Am I an extra celestial alien? Probably not, but I don't know. Like, is there a way to tell that? Is there like a simple test I can take? So just draggable true. That's all I need. Draggable true. Okay, let's create a branch in our LMS. Draggable courses, articles. Let's see, and then we can just come in here. We're gonna go to oh, do I do this to you or do I do this to the I like the responses. Aren't we all, depending on the day? I mean that those are also probably adequate too. Accurate, adequate, something like that. All right. I want course articles. This is where I can choose what the articles go in. Here's the HTML. So I have my title, I have my row for articles. I have create the article title. Okay, so create article titles. That's down here. So then these articles, which then I create a BB button list item. Okay, so a list of buttons, essentially. If you hide your reptilian eyes behind contact lenses, then you probably are. Well, I'm a big fan of referencing our lizard brain. So I'm like, how do we know that we're not all lizards? Because I mean, I think that's accurate. Um, okay, so I have BB list item. What else do I have in here? You're not aware of anything. Okay, so articles. Okay, so that gives me type article, but then I want this thing. I create a BB list item which just has label and ID. This gives me this button, and then looking at it, let's go to localhost again. Missing user info. Uh-oh. Oh, this user is not in the database. That's why. Okay. I don't think that'll matter for this feature. You'll meditate and let us know tomorrow. Okay. Good to know. So I want to take this and drag this out. If we investigate you, you're this button. Okay. So we have all articles. I should be able to see like all articles, right? Somewhere around here. So if course articles, Yeah, here it is. All articles. So then I want this. Okay, BB button list. Items equals this. So I create the article titles. Pass it the article, the available articles. So really, I want it to be this BB button list item. Okay, so we're going to head over to YCL. Okay, so button list item. So I probably want a button list item to be draggable or not. So pub draggable, which is a Boolean. Button list item. Okay, so these come in as items. On what's this? This is a button list. Oh, I could make the entire list draggable, can't I? Oh, so instead of like draggable here for each one, I could just make this entire list draggable. So draggable Boolean, which then we can say prop or default, which I think default for Boolean is false. I told my mom I was mediating once. I think she knows what you were really doing. Yeah, you were helping out a group of lizard people, right? Like stopping them from fighting. Okay, so then I want, now you can say draggable equals true. So if I say draggable equals false or something, then that should work, right? So button, here's the end. So we'll do draggable equals props dot draggable. So if I just do that, you're incredibly unhappy. Cool. Because why does that keep on happening? I'm unhappy with that. All right. Not satisfied. Oh, you need to be. Oh, no. Okay, so it needs to be a string. It needs to be a string. If it's a Boolean, can I just toString this? ToString is such a weird thing to do on a Boolean, but like it's the browser, so it's a normal thing to do. Okay, so we have Yew Rust working here. So now come back to you. And we're gonna open up cargo toml. Localhost you. Is the draggable only in Yew? Oh, like, is it able to do draggable stuff only in Yew? No, draggable stuff is HTML. So this is the MDN documentation. If you just add draggable equals true onto any element, it is now draggable. And we're about to see what that means, hopefully. Hi, did you wake up? Do you smell something fun? I put his breakfast under the table and he saw it. He saw me do that. And then I think he immediately forgot that it was there. Okay, so here we are on localhost. Are you draggable? Draggable false. Okay, so now I need to set that to be true to drag it. And that's going to be here. So a BB button list, I can say draggable equals true. And then I want this one to be draggable too. I want there to be an extra space right here. Okay. Not so good on object permanence. Yeah, I was concerned a little bit, but then I saw a video from Jackson Galaxy saying that on average, cats tend not to store things in long-term memory. Apparently, they prefer to just let things go and live in a moment and, like, you know, be all that, you know, that fun stuff. Okay, here we got draggable true. So now theoretically, I should be able to all okay. If I click on the words, I can drag it. If I click anywhere else, I cannot. I wonder if it's because it's a button. Now I can't actually do anything with this because there's a there's something else. Oh yeah, but back to the cats thing. So apparently most of the time, cats have like 30 seconds of memory. It's like after 30 seconds, it's like whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. So it's less of the object permanence and more of they just don't care, and so therefore they don't bother remembering it. But if it's something important and it happens like repeatedly, it becomes either habit and or permanent memory, and so that's why like they know where to go for the food because they memorize the important stuff. Everything else they're like, is it really that important? Like this is not where we we feed him most of the time, so therefore he doesn't actually bother remembering that this is a place to go for food. He does remember this place for hanging out though. It's like he comes here all the time. Like I've come down here sometimes and just seen him hanging out with nobody, with me not here. He just wants to hang out here because he knows it's a safe, chill place to hang. Okay, so I can drag it, but this doesn't mean anything, right? I want to get, I want to find out where I drag it. Each drag event has a transfer data property that holds the event's data. This property, which is a data transfer object, also has methods to manage drag data. The set data method is used to add an item to the drag data as shown. Okay, so drag start handler. Okay, so I need to set an event handler for that. And then I have the event. By default, it's the thing itself. Okay, that's fine. The drop effect property is used to control the feedback the user is given during the drag and drop operation. It typically affects which cursor the browser displays while dragging. Okay. Oh, because I can set like what the drop effect is going to be. By default, the browser prevents anything from happening when dropping something onto most HTML elements. To change that behavior so that an element becomes a drop zone or is droppable, the element must have both on drag over and on drop event handler attributes. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to have to... And since you spent a good few months with this API and you've forgotten everything since, it's like, I mean, that's a great way of explaining programming in general, right? Like there's so many different things that we have to work with. If you don't work with it every day, we have the memory of cats with it, and it's like 30 seconds later is gone. Okay, so we have drag over handler. So we say what the drop effect is. So that's going to be the cursor type. Artwin, and you struggle to remember what you wrote yesterday. I do the same thing, honestly. Sometimes like later in the day. That's when you spend your morning coffee on. Caffeine helps. Caffeine definitely helps. But basically, we just use performance enhancing drugs to help us out every day. Drop handler. Get the ID of the target and add the moved element to the target's DOM. And then I can append child to it. Okay, so step one that I like to do, we could just make it so that if I like drag this over here, it'd be awesome if we just added it to this list. That would be pretty awesome. But maybe first we want to just console log out that some drag happened. So I want to like do that. Now I could create these here. Where do I want to put the so like you setting events is interesting. Oh, is there an on? Let's go to you. So I'm still on 0.20. I should probably update that too. Update LMS to 0.21. Okay, that will be in the future. And I want to look at events. Full list of available events. Okay, I want to see, is there... Okay, so we have on drag end, on drag enter, on... So this is my brain, and I'm curious, is this happening to you too? I am not reading this. Like my brain is seeing this as on rage end. Like, or actually no, I was just on rage end, on rage enter. Like that's what my brain is telling me that I'm seeing. And that's not right, but it looks fun. On Dragon D. Or is it on drag on D? Nice, okay. On Dragon, okay, yeah. Then I'm not insane. I've never understood. Oh, I guess I do understand. HTML doesn't understand the idea of capitalizations, so just everything is lowercase like this, which really sucks. And I don't understand why they didn't embrace the idea of snake case or kebab case or whatever those different ones are. Okay, so if I do on drag start, I think is what I want first. So I think we put this over here. And so I want to do a on drag start. I'm going to get our event, and the event is a drag event. And let's just do a glue console log dragging, and we can take a look at the event. And then for this, so like draggable, this is like a mess. Let's multi-line this thing. Do I have any spaces in here? I don't. Okay, so if I do that and I search for space, except for that one, how do I do one space only? It's like, there's a way to select just one, right? One character in a regex. Because that selects all of those, and I definitely do not want that. I guess. Oh, I could just do this, then search for you, then define. Okay, so then I do that, and I replace you with new line, and tab you in. There. Okay. That makes you that works better. That's nice. I do like to close it out like that, just so that I can see where the end is. They embraced the HTML case, all lowercase. I vaguely remember on the Syntax podcast a while ago, they talked about the different various cases that you can have, and one of them was the all lowercase, all together, no differentiation between different words, and it's really hard to see what that is. And it was a funny name, but I couldn't remember anymore. Okay, so now I want to set you to be on drag start. I forgot the semicolon. Okay. On drag start. You're upset. Why? Cannot move out of on drag start. Why do I need to move? Because it's a loop. That's why I need to move. Okay. This is such a bad idea. I really should be doing event delegation with this. I should not be creating a new drag event for every single item. That sounds like a terrible idea. But it's a thing. Okay, so a bunch of Sentry stuff. I don't care about that. I should turn off Sentry at if it's local host. You're playing with Rust yesterday, and you think you have the best solution for the game. The game will be a Vex struct. That should be the most efficient way to hold the data for the game. Oh, yeah, this won't work. If I make a change to here, the LMS doesn't know about that change, so I have to hit save to get it to reload this. Then I'll be able to see this. Okay. There it goes. On drag start. So that gives me a whole bunch of stuff. But I do get the target. So I do get that. So that's pretty cool. Now, the only problem is that this is on drag start is running on all of these. And I really would like to on drag start on the parent. I think I can do that because that's the appropriate way to do something like this. So if on drag start, so let's try putting draggable is true on here. And then I want on drag start to be here. So now I want, okay, so I can get the event. I'll just do the same thing here. Which, don't forget. Now I have only a single on drag start defined instead of n on drag starts defined, which is not great for performance. Cool. Okay, so I have on drag start still, and that works. And then I should still see the target, right? Yeah, that's the target. If I start with this one, that's the target. Okay, so event delegation, perfect. Then I want to tell what it's being dragged over, don't I? So I put this in here. I want this in the other browser. Okay, so we have on drag end, on drag enter, on drag exit, leave, over, start, and on drop. I wonder if I want over or enter. I wonder which one I want. You had to create your own events because enter, leave were problematic to you. Oh, really? How about over? Is it just enter and leave? Is that usually what we go for? I guess I'm curious about that. So let's do on drag enter, on drag leave are okay. So then I want these on here too. So I want on drag enter. Oh, so in this case, I probably actually can get away with something like this because there's only one of them. It's not in a loop. Okay, so if I do that, then you're unhappy. Because you forgot the bang. Okay, you're happier. Okay, so let's see what we can do. I pick this up, drag enter drags over the current target. Interesting. So, okay, I left my own and I went over this other one. And if I go over this one, ooh, yeah, okay, so I can get over these ones here. Oh, when I unclick leave also hits. Interesting. So then what I want to do is if I want to know that I'm about to enter into one of the other areas, where do I want to put this? Like and I guess what do I do with this? I in the LMS we have all you, and so I have some. Okay, so assign articles on click, all articles on clicked. Oh yeah, and this is where it's just appending it to the end, right? So like I pop it off and then move it over. So like add article to course. So what I probably want to do is like want to figure out which order where I want to put it in. Because what I want to be able to do is say, okay, come in here. Like if I drop it, like the pattern I usually see is like it creates like a shadow element in between here, and then you can sort of like jiggle it around until you figure out the right spot to put it. That's kind of what I want to do. Then like creates a little hole for me to say like, okay, I know it's going to go inside of there. If I do something like that, where do I put it? How do I know where to put it? On enter, I believe D&D Kit, a package for JavaScript that handles all the drag and drop stuff, use portals heavily. I haven't even looked at portals. Like that's new stuff, right? What do portals do? Also, I think I can set data on this, right? I can say like event dot a getter for the data transfer field of this object. That's a lot of things. So that's a getter. Oh, and that's it. Okay, so that's a getter for the data transfer field of this object. This API requires the following: create features to be activated, data transfer, drag event. Which... Okay. Right, you will tell me that it needs that. Okay, so you will actually show me the methods now. Not you. Rust Analyzer will show me the methods that are available, but then say, hey, it's behind a feature flag. I don't know which library that is. Are you going to tell me? Borrow move value event. Oh yeah, I don't need to own you like that. Okay. Oh, okay. So then I want, let's just say I unwrap it, even though I don't want to. I probably want to like do something else. So that gives me a data transfer. So data dot, what can I do with this? Drop effect. So getter for the drop effect field, set drop effect. Effect allowed, set effect allowed, items, types, files, clear data. Set data, okay. Oh, and this can be a string. Oh, and it's key value, I think. I think it's key value. So I could do something like the ID is going to be the event dot. Oh, then I need the target. So do I have any data in here? I have the ID on this one here. So type button, class, list, group item, action. Oh, wait, I don't want to, I wanted this to be all one line like that. Are you current? Okay, so on click, the ID, and the draggable. Okay, so I probably want the ID then. Can I get the ID? Oh, I need the target first. This should always work, right? Like this should always work. If it doesn't, I should probably quit early, right? So let's do this pattern. We'll just do an early return. Okay, so give me the event target. Then I want the ID. Oh no, I can't get it. The target. There's add event listener. Has type. Is there a get attribute? Oh no. I have to turn it into a button. I have to turn it into a button. So we do that, then I'm gonna reshadow this. Cheese Alu Pav, hello, good morning. Hi, I was wondering if I had to choose among the various front-end offerings, which one should I go for? Daxis, Leptos, or Yew? I'm a beginner in front-end. Basically, I want to learn something that will be there long-term. That's really difficult for me to answer because I haven't tried Daxis or Leptos yet. I have a lot of experience in Yew now, but that doesn't help me like, you know, compare with the other ones. I would argue that you would be better for beginner and front end because you could just use the React documents and say like, okay, if I'm curious, like, why am I doing this? Go look at how React works and like why people do it in React. There's tons of articles on that over the years, and that'll just answers the question for you. Like it's almost one-to-one for any of those questions. And that's the thing is like you is re-implementing how React works essentially, kind of most of the way. It's copying the patterns of React, so that way if you but that also means the documentation for React works pretty well for the most part. Every once in a while you run into little weird things. I don't know if the same thing as this, if there's a similarity in Leptos or Daxis. So I guess that would be my suggestion for right now is choose Yew, but that's only because like heavily because I haven't tried the other ones. Why is the performance worse than React? Last time I took a look at the list of performance, it was similar to React. It was basically the same as React, with maybe like better in some areas and worse in some other areas. I think a big though reason for like the performance is Yew team hasn't really worked on performance improving things yet. That I believe comes later in their development cycle. And the author of Leptos has actually given some tips to the Yew team of like how to improve performance and get some new performance things out, which they've taken into consideration. So I don't know like when they would work on that. Usually you don't want to work on performance stuff until after you have like everything else set up. Okay, so I need to do target unchecked into as JS cast. So I want this to be an HTML button element. I think that one. Then I can get the ID. So that gives me that. So now I want to set the ID. This is a string, right? So set the ID. Huh, that says format ID. What's format? Okay. It was onDrag start, I think had, wait, not that one. I want this one. Oh, interesting. So data transfer, set data, application my app, add the target element's ID to the data transfer object. Can you like tell me more about that? What is that? Get the ID. Is that just a getter? So there's data transfer. Okay, format. A string representing the type of the data of the drag data to add to the drag object. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're gonna do the thing. Drag start. The first thing they do is clear the data for everything. That actually makes a lot of sense. So let's try that first. So we want to do data dot clear data first. And then I want to set data. Oh, I can only set one thing. So this needs to be text plain. Okay, got it. What are my options? Does it actually say what options I have? No, of course not. Okay. Cool. So text plain, and then we put the ID in. So ID goes in here. And do that. Okay, so now the data's been set. You need to be a stir. That's fine. We can do that. Okay, so you need to be the stir. You'd assume any mime type. Okay. Oh, I think I read somewhere that you can do. Ooh, okay. So, console. What am I doing? Glue console. Error. Error dragging. No. So what is this? This is error clearing drag data. Okay, so I do that. That handles you, and then I want to do the same thing. So if let oh, and I probably want to just do an early return here too. Just exit out. Okay, so this is error setting ID on button. We also want to return. Okay, so we do that. So this should set the data now. Okay. So I should be able to, I don't know if I can actually see that data when like in the in the drag enter event. So I do that. Can I see like in here the data? Data transferred. No. Okay. So no. But on drag start, I bet I can. Data transfer. Drop effect. Effect allowed. Files. Item. Okay. I have one item. It's a string. Where's the data? So it should be, there should be a 13 somewhere. I don't, it shouldn't be, okay, so it's not file list. That makes sense. Items, kind, string, type, text play. I would have expected it to show up in there. But okay. Okay. Um, so maybe I need to get out. Okay, so I should be able to get out the data when it drops. So there's the on drop method, right? So back to here. So we have on drag leave. Let's add in another one. On drag drop. Oh no, it's on drop. Drag event. So we do get the event. So I want to get that transfer data. So we have our event here, which means I need probably the target. Also, just to make sure, let's get this. So starting drag for ID. Okay. So do that. I want to get this. What are you? Are you you're in options. Let's do the same pattern here. Oh, I want that. Do I want? I guess it's not error, right? This is missing. Error. Did transfer object missing when dragging. There's nothing really to print out here. So it's just that and then an early return. So if I grab this, put you down here. Okay, so that gives me the data. Borrow a moved event. Okay, yeah. Got it. Okay, so I get the data here. And so now can I get the ID is data dot. Now I would love to get data, which gets me a string. Okay. And it's a result. Okay, so then a result, which means I probably want to match this. So I can get that error and print it out and then return that ID. So if it's an okay, I get the data and I return it. Otherwise, I have an error. And we're going to so error getting drag drop data. Early return. Okay, so now I have the ID, and then I can glue console log dropping ID. Okay. So, what are you upset about? This method takes one argument. Format. Oh, it takes this format. Okay, so that is the text plane. So there can be multiple formats on here. Okay. So then we want to put on drop and throw that on here. Okay, so if I take you, starting drag for ID 13, great. Then if I come over here, oh, drop didn't do anything. Is that not the right? Is that not the right event? On drop. Okay, no, it is on drop. Okay, so I am doing on drop here. I didn't get any errors. Oh, I probably don't want this. I would probably want like drag drop. Okay, so maybe this will help a little bit more. I didn't seem to get to this point, but maybe it's not calling at all. Oh, does it have to be in a drop zone? I have to like create a drop zone, don't I? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay, hold on. So I can't drop. Drop zone, we're playing Call of Duty now. Yeah. It's the web got it first. Like Call of Duty is just copying the web. Like, you know, it's essentially HTML. Call prevent default. Ooh, that might be a good idea. I did notice they were calling prevent default, and I was like looking to see when they were doing it. So I wonder which one I need to call prevent default on, or if it's just all of them. Do I need to do it for every single one? So like if I choose all these, and I search for callback like that, I would do event dot prevent default. All but start. Yeah, because like that doesn't let me drag. I can actually drag. It starts the dragging, but it doesn't let me drag. Okay, so that is a terrible idea. Yeah, we don't do it in the start. So on drag start. We do that, except I don't also accidentally hit the quit button. That would be nice. The Q and then the W are so close to each other, I sometimes like just accidentally nick it on the way down. Which obviously is not great. Okay, so that doesn't get me a drag drop, but it gets me everything else, which makes sense. Okay, now you're gonna tell me drag drop API performing a drop. If the mouse is released over an element that is a valid drop target, that is one that canceled the last drag enter or drag over event, then the drop will be successful and a drop event will fire at the target. Otherwise, the drag operation is canceled and no drop event is fired. During the drop event, you should retrieve that data that was dropped from the event and insert it at the drop location. So wait a second, what? On drop. Okay, so we get the data. Okay, this is confusing the way it's worded. Drop targets. A listener for the drag enter and drag over events are used to indicate valid drop targets. That is, places where dragged items may be dropped. Most areas of a web page or application are not valid places to drop data. Thus, the default handling of these events is not to allow a drop. If you want to allow the drop, you must prevent the default behavior by canceling both the drag enter and drag over events. Oh. So drag enter and drag over. So we have drag enter, and so now I need on drag over, drag event. Oh, I need to cancel them. So this is going to be event dot prevent default. Okay. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. That was okay. So drag start, I didn't. Drag enter, I now have it on. Drag over, I now have that on. Drag leave, I don't have it on. On drop, I don't. Apparently, I just added it to one, and I thought that I had added it to multiple items, and I didn't do multiple cursors and fun stuff. Okay. Let's try this. Actually, you know what? I want to test first to see if it worked on drag enter. I know that documentation says that it needs on both. I just want to test it. So start with that. Didn't work. Okay, makes sense. Let's follow what the documentation says. So now I want to add in on drag over. Dropping ID 13. Okay. Now it fires. You only have the one? Which is also interesting. Why do I still get drag enter? Boom. Then drop. Oh, because I didn't change the log? Oh no. Yeah, I copied pasted, didn't I? On drag, so we have on drag enter, this drag over. They're both preventing defaults. They both are canceling the drag and then drag leave. Oh, okay. So that's 13, 15, 16. So these are drag over. They're just drag overs. And then when I drop it, I get drop in ID that. Okay. So for every pixel that it's going over, I get this event, which is fun. There's tons of these now. Yeah, and then it goes over that one. It's like every pixel that I was moving, it's like it's firing this event, which is a thing. Definitely don't want to console log every single one of those out. All right. So I've run out of time. I'm gonna have to finish up pretty soon, but I think that I'll be able to figure out, okay, so look at this. I can get the target. The target will tell me which one I'm dropping on top of. And so then I have to make a design decision of like, what does that mean? Like, where am I putting this? Am I putting this like after it, before it? Do I want to do something while it's dragging? I'm not sure yet. Like, how do I put something at the end then? Would that just be a click then? I'll have to think about that. Split the vertical height of the target. Oh, that makes sense too, where I can basically drag it over, and if I'm in the top half, I'm putting it above, and if I'm in the bottom half, I'm putting it below. That's a good idea. So that means I need the ability to determine which one I clicked on, or which one I dropped on, which half, upper or lower, I dropped on too. And then we can worry about CSS and design later, but functionality is the most important here. I have no idea how to test this. I think that Playwright has the ability to sort of like actually click and drag things over, but that would be an interesting thing to look into. But that all being said, I need to run off to my day job. I will be back here later. Okay, I will be back here later today at around 2:30 p.m. Mountain time. Let's see, we rated Raimu yesterday. Kuvy Man is doing something Rust. Oh, is it? Let's see. It's hard to see. It's hard to see what the project is. But there's like touch events. There's some other events. I wonder if it's the game that he wrote on Rust. I'm not sure, but it's Rust. So let's go ahead and set up a raid for Kuvi Man. All right, so slash raid. Man, and all right. So everybody, as I mentioned, here's the schedule for the week. So I'll be back this afternoon, and we'll continue on with the drag and drop adventures. This is also it's all kind of like fun to be able to do like the drag and drop type stuff. Anyways, that's all. So have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you later today. Bye.